Good. God, I hate technology. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I have a returning guest. This Saturday, he takes on Whiskey Motherfucking Six. At Day of the Wrestlers, he is ZuZu, the muscle clown, also known as Ronald McDonald, according to Kyle's dad.
Ha, Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, Glenn calls you that. So, all right, we'll just stick with that then. What's going on, dude? It's been what, like 9 days, if that, since the last weekend?
Yeah, Wrestling Go. That was, about 9 days ago. So.
All right. I started this question off on Monday. What are some of your favorite memories of Kyle Eade since he's been gone 2 months now? That's like mind blowing to me personally. Like, how's he been gone two months? That's unreal.
It's you know what sucks about the whole thing is that like you get so many haters like on the internet, stuff like that. Sometimes you just want to quit, but he was one of those guys that just supported you. You know what I mean? He always come to the shows. If you were a heel, he booed you. If you were a baby, he cheered for you. My favorite memory would have to be the Kingdom show where I was in the Rumble and I had a squash match with Fergus. So that would be my favorite memory because he filmed some good footage for me and he was so happy that I won and got the Kingdom Elite title. He was, your supporters, they celebrate with you when you achieve something. They feel that they're definitely a part of that achievement. So I felt that from Kyle. Like he supported me, and he was one of the supporters, not the haters. Definitely a shame.
This doesn't seem like watching TV. Like every interview he would watch. Didn't matter if the video was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. He would watch every single video that I posted. Quite literally every single one. Like one of my videos has like 58 views, one comment, Kyle Eade. Like he would just be so supportive. You miss him every single day. But this week, he was there. This weekend, guys, we're here to talk about Day of the Wrestlers this Saturday, 1:30.
Yeah.
You have a match. Yeah, you against Whiskey Six. How are you gonna beat it? Because this Saturday I have a busy day. I have the show. I'm helping out there, and then from there, off to see Kiss. That's it.
Oh, Kiss! Really?
Saturday. Kiss.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it.
Like crazy for Kiss. I've never been a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Kiss.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I'm just going because it's more.
I don't know. I used to like a lot of Black Metal, like Venom and stuff like that. So I don't know. I remember the first time I seen Kiss, I was like, I thought they would sound like Dimmu Borgir or So I was like, look at these guys, they're awesome. And I chucked on their tracks. And my dad is a huge Kiss fan, and he was like, well, listen to this, and I was like, not my jam.
We've got Fly Guy in the chat. What are you drinking, ZuZu? Can I have some buzz? Piss off, Fly Guy. Pepsi, man.
It knows 90% water. It's Pepsi Light. It's my I don't drink water. I drink soft drink. It's 80%, 90% water, so it's close enough.
It's close enough. But now this weekend you have Whiskey Six, one of the high flyers in the AWF. How are you going to beat him, and how are you going to stop his high flying moves?
I watched a lot of Whiskey. It's heel ZuZu, so I'm going to be healing it up. So just stomp the shit out of him and give him lots of cut his fancy stuff off with big power moves. That's what I'm planning on doing. Might
Are you
actually
gonna
wait
have
for
the
this one.
Are you gonna have the fire this time, like you did at Wall's End? You always burned the roof off the joint.
I want to. I really want to.
Oh,
He's going to be keen. But it's a bigger venue, so hopefully, man, I've done it in nightclubs where the ceiling is like, you couldn't, like, the ceiling's really low, and they obviously have good fire protection. They have to, for safety. So, and I've never set an alarm off. I've never burnt anyone, never poisoned anyone. Always marked my bottles. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, he lets me do it. But yeah, it's maybe an insurance fee. Some people don't. Some people don't want to let me do it. Kingdom let me do it, which is a shame. I'm not working there anymore. So hopefully, someone lets me do it soon because I'm dying to bust it out again. So I miss that taste of that crappy oil that I put up in my mouth.
so because I think I know the show you talking about, because Kyle was there, I was around the ring, and you literally come out and I'm thinking, what the fuck is this crazy shithead doing? And all I see is this giant bright light, thinking, oh fuck. You come out, I'm like, oh my fucking god. And I was like, nah, I'm out of here. I was scared, man. Fucking hell.
Was that with Wes? Was that working Wesley?
I think it was.
That was the one where I jumped in the ring with the fire. I did because a lot of the time they're like, don't do the fire in the ring because we don't want the ring to mysteriously get burned, even though the stuff is not flammable. Or they don't want the roof to catch fire. Nothing's going to ever catch fire with this shit. It's like literally only flammable when air passes through it. So once it reaches the end, it's dispersed into liquid. It doesn't have any burning. So, I guess people just panic about it. So it's an insurance thing. It's a whatever, but it is a shame because it's such a big part of what I was doing. So it'd be nice if people would let me do it. I'm hoping that there's future shows I'm working on. I'm working on stuff with them, and I'm hoping they let me do it. Yeah. So I hope we can bring back the fire. No one wants to see it in matches, and I get that. You don't want to see people don't want to see you toast people, even in the deathmatch stuff they do, but in just wrestling shows, I understand people don't want people toasted. But yeah, I guess I've done all the safety. I've done all the safety checks on it. I've made sure I do it real safe. I've talked to real professional fire breathers about it, what I should do for safety wise. I've covered every angle, so I always have a wet towel and stuff to put the stick out. So, yeah. But the sticks are really expensive too, and you can only really use them once. It's actually a shop in Sydney, an online shop I'll buy them from, and they're about they range from I think you have to buy two, so they're like $100. They're 50 each. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about your death matches. I have seen a few of your death matches. Why the fuck death matches for? Why death matches? Like the fuck? Like I get it, they're cool, but like I don't get the whole gist of like the death matches themselves. It's like, why do you do like the death matches for? Because I see them on like obviously D and DU have some pretty good shows coming up, and holy fuck, get me to a show.
Yeah, they got some good shows, man. I'm pretty sure I don't know if they still do this, but when I was there, they did. They only had 2 death matches or 3 death matches a show, and they all have interesting because there actually is types of matches in wrestling that have names. Like they're not just called death match. Death matches have like, you know, crazy out there names. So they were doing like a couple death matches, and then like different types of wrestling leading up to that. You have your tag match, and also you have some harder hitting, strong style guys, and then you'll have some high flyers doing like a. I don't know if they still do that though. It's been a long time since I've been to one of their shows. I think the last show I went to, I really, off the top of my head, I can't even remember. It was that long ago. But as far as death matches go, man, it's just like, look, there's a subculture in wrestling. It's just a subculture. It's like you have professional wrestling, like you know, which is the mainstream, which is like your WWE. Then, and you also have your indie stuff that's a bit more mainstream too. Like, I mean, AEW is like the most mainstream indie wrestling you can ever get. But you have like all those, and then you have deathmatch. It's just like it's like a subculture. It has a following. My main purpose for wanting to do it is actually originally I did a lot of deathmatch stuff before deathmatch was around and like popular, like in Australia. Like I did, I think my first ever match could be considered borderline deathmatch. I mean, the guy cut me open with a screwdriver. There was thumbtacks, there was chairs, there was fighting through the crowd. Even I think I took a power bomb on a, you know, those crates they put stuff on, big wooden pallets. So I took
Pellets.
yeah, I took a power bomb on a pallet. That was my first match, and then I prefer normal wrestling, just because it's such a that is wrestling. That is, you have to be able to do that to even do a good match in death match anyway. I think psychology wise, you got to have good psychology. I think I did a bunch of death match when I first started, when I really wasn't that educated on you know, psychology and stuff. So after I did my more education in psychology, I thought I'd go back to it because it was a good way for me to step away from the PG gimmick that I was doing. Because ZuZu used to be really PG for a while. So it was like, you know, all ages shows all the time. Very cartoony style of wrestling, I guess. Even the way I bump is very cartoony. I wanted to get away from that because it kind of killed wrestling for me. So when I came back to wrestling, even when I joined DMDU the first time, I wasn't keen on deathmatch, and I told them, I said, like, I just want to get better at my in-ring work and stuff like that. But my only booking, my first booking with them was a last-minute replacement in a six-man death. So there were some good guys in that match too. So it was another reason why I said yes. Not currently doing any more deathmatch until something better comes along. Like the people that I'd been offered to work with, I just don't think they're deathmatch wrestlers. So I'm waiting for like something big comes, so I get an offer, like, you know, maybe work Mad Dog or Joel, or, you know, Guido again. I'd love to work Guido again. Those guys, then I'm down to do deathmatch, but I'm not down to wrestle guys that, you know, I think are great workers in a normal ring, but they're not deathmatch guys. They just don't have the look. They don't know. Like, I'm excited when I go out to do deathmatch because I'm a little bit, I don't know, I think I'm a little bit messed up. I like violence. I like that sort of thing. I've always lived in that world. So for me, if I'm gonna get like needles stuck in my face, cut with a box cutter, fire, you know, slam through stuff, light tubes, I'm excited. I'm not nervous. I'm excited for this. You know, I get to have some fun. But for other people that just aren't like that, they're panicking. I'm gonna forget this. You can't forget nothing. It's literally mostly it's mostly weapons and stuff if you're doing no ring, and there's maybe one or two bumps. In a ring match, yeah, you've got a lot more spots and stuff, but the weapons themselves will remind you. Oh, I'm grabbing the table. I remember what I'm doing with the table, so then it can just go. But some guys are like really not prepared for it, and if you see my death matches, there's a line, and I cross that line as much as I can. I do not care um, about that line when it comes to deathmatch because it's a punk crowd. People like outlaws. They want this sort of GG Allen entertainment. You know what I mean? They don't want wholesome wrestling. They want stuff that's like, I can't believe that's too far. That's too much. I once made a girl vomit in her mouth during a match. I remember looking over and seeing her, and she was vomiting in her mouth, and she had to run to the bathroom. And I thought that is excellent. I just loved it. I just thought that is what, as an artist, if I can offend someone without being an asshole, like being, a fascist or a racist or sexist or homophobic, transphobic, if I can offend someone these days without doing any of that stuff, because I wouldn't do it, then I'm happy as an artist. I've achieved my goal. But that is a different thing to in-ring wrestling. In-ring wrestling for me is, I wouldn't try that stuff. I wouldn't work a deathmatch show that was promoted as a pro wrestling show. I wouldn't do deathmatch in front of kids. I won't use glass in front of kids. Or thumbtacks maybe, but not no blood or anything like that in front of kids. So it's a different hat, but it was a good way for me to step away from that PG character that nobody took seriously. Like every show that I hit up, do you have another gimmick? Because we want you to do like more of a powerhouse gimmick. Do you have anything else? Maybe we put some trunks on you. And I was like, and I'm always saying the same thing. Have you seen my legs? Don't put trunks on me. I'll look fucking stupid. Oh, can I swear on this show?
I don't give a fuck.
All right, sweet. Fuck it. So, yeah, I'm like, don't put me in Speedos. I'm not Batista because I ain't got the legs, man. Like, I'm a pants guy, and and the funny thing is, whenever people ask me this question, promoters, they haven't seen what I've been doing in the last 4 to 5 years. They've only seen like stuff from back, when I first started this gimmick, which was a lot more PG and cartoony. So they haven't seen it. They just presume it's still the same. It's a clown gimmick, blah blah blah. So, but I'll convince them because the minute I'm honestly believe that the minute I go out there, doesn't matter what the crowd is, I can win them over with, with my look, with the way I wrestle. So if I just try to get them to put the faith in me, bro. That's all. You got to put the faith in me, and I'll go out there and show them really what I do. So it was a good way for that to step away from the PG image. And some of those guys now, because I've been at it for like 7 years, so some of the guys that watched me when they were just kids watching local indie wrestling, they've now grown up and they're into deathmatch. They're into like the more extreme sort of wrestling, and the more edgy sort of gimmick. So that was my plan with the death match. Now I don't need to do it. If something big comes up, I'll do it. Until then, I don't really feel like wrestling people that just I don't think are deathmatch wrestlers. That's it.
Now, let's talk about your time in AWS. Australian Wrestling Superstars. You were the tag team champion for How long exactly? Because I've got no idea.
I can't even remember how long for. Not long, because I mean, Goran really just. I think he wanted because he had those tag titles with. I speak out of kayfabe on this show. Yeah, it's just a kayfabe show.
I don't care, to be honest.
All right, so I think the story was with Goran, was booking at the time, and I think that he wanted a power because he was in that powerhouse tag, the Doom Nation, and they had the belts for so long. So he asked me, if you come to Sydney and tag, who would you tag with? And I said Malice, because I mean we just look like we should be in a tag, and I worked with him before on the road in another tag match against him, and because I like the way he works and he's easy to work with. So, and then Goran liked the idea, put us together, and then we got the tag titles. Then I moved back to Melbourne. So then he's like, well, he asked me. I came back. I did a couple more shows with the belt. I think we defended at the RSPCA show, and then he asked me to come back and defend it. I couldn't because I was just busy in Melbourne working and stuff. So he said that they ended up dropping the belts. Malice dropped the belts with someone else. They teamed together and went and dropped the belts. So I never really, I'm still AWS Tag Team Champion. Technically, or technicality. But I liked working there, man.
They put on some really good shows. That show at Mortondale a couple of days ago drew about 180 on, I think. Mortondale RSL. Fly Guy won. Fly Guy defeated Apollo. No, Tyson Gibbs.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was just actually talking to him before he told me about it.
Buzz, Fly Guy, you're on my list, pal. I've got a long list of people I want to interview. Obviously, the number one. 3, 2, 1. Detonation time. TNT. He's high on that list. He's like number one on that list. Obviously,
well, sure sounds keen. He sounds keen.
He knows how to book a show. He knows how to promote wrestling because he's been doing it for so damn long. He knows how to get a show out there, draw a crowd, even though like the shows at Katooma draw like probably 80 to 100, they were loud. Like even like some of the earlier shows that I went to, there was like 15, 20 people in the crowd and they were still loud. He knows how to book a show. And TNT, if you're watching this, you're next, pal.
Yeah, he does. You know what? He really does know to book a show. I've always had a pleasant experience working with him. So he does know to book a show. He does know what he's talking about when it comes to wrestling. And he's very good at not letting the politics and shit get to him. So I really appreciate Greg. I do, because he can always he's just old school, so I can always get a place on his show. He just likes the look, he likes the gimmick. So he's one of the guys that's opposite. Like he will say, no, do the gimmick. You know what I mean? I like to get that gimmick. So most people try to steer me away at first. So there's nothing against that. It just happens. I mean, I understand it. You know, if you get a body guy and you could reconstruct him into the type of wrestler you want to push, and he's going to, you get that guy, but he already has another gimmick, but it's not like a powerhouse gimmick, I guess that's why they do it, but I don't take offense to it or anything, but Greg's never done that to me. He's always just been, yeah, I love it. You send like little clown emojis with every message. The dynamite, he loves the emojis. No, he's a good guy, man. I'm looking forward to the show. I've been trying to get back on the shows for a while. I enjoy it. There's a few guys at AWF I'd really like to work as well. Always down for working Fly Guy, always. ACAL or any of those.
There you go, guys. This weekend, AWF. It's much delayed. There's the poster. ZuZu, you are right here. Taking on Whiskey 6 this Saturday. Bell time at 1:30 p.m. It's an early show, guys. We have The Outsider versus EC Brownie. Chris Rucker, who I haven't seen wrestle for fucking ages. It's been a long time. We have the tag titles. We got Goldstein, who now runs the company. Thank
You got
God
Goran.
for that. Goran and
So
Deepak going after.
I'm gonna have to work out extra hard because Goran's on the card, so I have to work out extra hard to try and not lose my pop because the guy looks great.
Guy's a jack guy.
He's always been jacked, bro.
Yeah. One last question. What?
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think when I first met Goran, I was probably about 74 kilos wet, so like I remember looking at him and thinking, this guy's a giant. He's huge. And every time I see him at shows, he always says, "Oh, you're bigger than me." I said, "No, man, I think you're definitely bigger than me." So I'm shorter too. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead. What was your last question?
Why the hell did you cut the long hair? Why? Why did you cut the long hair and go short? Like, come on, man. Like, the long hair was cool. Now short hair, ZuZu, I don't like that shit.
It took me ages to grow that too. Like, it took me 2 years. If you look at my Instagram and go from the very start of that Instagram, it's like I've got like hair up to here, and then it slowly grows, and then I cut it. I guess 2 reasons. One, the life outside of wrestling, it's hard enough getting a job with a face tattoo, let alone a face tattoo and long hair. 2, sometimes you got to cut a bit off so you can grow, man. You got to cut a piece of yourself off so you can grow. And I really wanted to grow but it's a nightmare for merch because I just had my artist just before I cut it. She redid a shirt for me that I was going to sell, and I had short hair in the shirt design, so she did it so I had long hair and looked a bit different, and now I've got short hair again. It's a nightmare for that. But as far as I feel good now. I feel better in the ring. I'm feeling like I'm generating some Surfer Sting, vibes. The Sting is my favorite wrestler, so I'm trying to give those vibes off.
Can you imagine ZuZu versus Surfer Sting? Holy shit! That'll be a bump in a match.
I wouldn't be able to do much because I've stolen like a lot of his stuff. So you're like, and I think if he Scorpion Death locked me, my knee would explode. So I definitely feel like Sting would kick my ass. But even now, Surfer Sting, yeah, man, that would be my dream match. I mean, if I had a time machine and a knee replacement, so I could work on my legs, I'd wear tights too. But Surfer Sting is my idol. So I dyed the hair because I was like, I'm gonna go Surfer Sting style. And that's I was actually gonna get my haircut done before the show, but now I don't have time. I like to get a haircut before the show. I hate those guys that don't, man. It annoys the hell out of me. Like, if you're going to get up in front of people and entertain them, go get your beard trimmed a little bit. Go get, your hair done, your eyebrows waxed or whatever. Look, at least try and look. Sometimes you see guys that look like they just got out of bed and chuck their gear on, and they're about to go out and wrestle, and you're just like, That's terrible. But anyway, I don't know. That's fine.
We've got Torture in the Facebook chat. He says, "Love this work because I've done the DM title." At the end, I put memories of Kyle. Kyle, I know you're watching this interview, brother. We miss you. We love you. Every single time we say, "Here we go." Think of you. You be in the crowd every single show. Kyle, only clown Torture loves. Torture said only clown Torture loves. So are we gonna see ZuZu versus Torture one day?
Man, who
Are we gonna
knows?
see that
I mean,
match?
powerhouse. That'd be a powerhouse match for sure. I mean, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm always keen to work with those guys. Love them. I think I'm doing some tag stuff coming up. I don't want to give too much away. There's a few companies where they're throwing me in a tag. There's one I'm working on. Well, I'm not working. I'm just waiting for their reply. And that's Kingdom. Kingdom, I want to come back. I want to wrestle for your crowd. So if you hear this, yeah, come on, bring me back, man. I'm ready to come back. Like, yeah, I want to entertain the crowd. So I think it's a good time because I had that break after the loss to Morgan, you know. So, you know, and another friend of mine just joined Kingdom. So I would like to, you know, my old tag partner. So who knows? You know what I mean? Like, that would be a good angle, especially because we're tag champs in another company. So we've both been tag champs before in other companies with different people. So we work well together. So yeah, Kingdom, Adam, I messaged him, but yeah, I want him to bring me back. So the fans of Kingdom, I'm trying to get back and wrestle for you. There we go.
He's trying hard, guys.
My friend Julian is actually wrestling on that show.
Hell yeah. I haven't been to a show since probably the Walls End show last year, like just before they ceased trade and everything. And then obviously, you know, when Kyle passed away, that was tough for all of us. I was actually in Canberra when I got that phone call from a friend of mine saying, "Did you back home?" I'm like, no, what happened? He passed away. I'm like, no. I thought it was like a sick joke or some shit. Because like no one, there was nothing that could kill Kyle. Nothing could kill that kid. He was indestructible. He was untouchable. But then obviously, you know, he passed away, 23 years old, went to his funeral. Whew, that was tough. But Kyle, we love you. We miss you. Hope you're talking to the Funkster, Terry Funk, and Bray Wyatt. Guys, this has been fun. ZuZu, I will see you on Saturday. AWF, Day of the Wrestlers. If you can't make the show, guys, it will be available for purchase in the coming weeks. For Sally, this is Mr. ZuZu, the Muscle Clown, and sleep tight. Don't let the clowns bite.